Hi YouTube, it's Heather again. I decided to do a reply to all the questions that I've been receiving about my thyroid surgery. The first one is to Karen. She wrote me just a couple days, well, June. Sorry it's taken me so long to get this done, but she wanted to know how I was feeling overall after my surgery. And I'm feeling pretty good after almost 11 months. My scar hasn't reduced down. It's still quite red, and I don't like that. It's been almost a year, and I think it should be a lot smaller by now and not quite as red. So that's one of the issues I have. I mean, no one's really said anything. It's just subconscious for me. And another issue I have, which is really bad, and I should get one of those little pill containers, and I highly suggest it to anyone who has the thyroid surgery, who has to take a daily pill. Get a daily wheel. It's maybe, about like this. Okay, the daily wheel I was talking about is this. It's very easy. You put one pill in each little compartment. I forget to take my meds a lot, which is not a good thing because by the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I don't really quite feel right. The next day, I'm tired. And like everyone says, you have to take these pills every day, and if you don't, you could get yourself in trouble. So I highly recommend, if you have to take medication, especially the Thyroid, get one of these, and every Saturday or Sunday, whichever way you want to do it, or every Monday morning, fill it all up for the next week. I recommend every Sunday night. Fill it up for the next week to make sure that you take your medication. The next question came from Common Sense Guy. I'm actually very glad that I had the surgery. When they first, it had been going on for about 5 years, they found nodules, and they did the needle biopsy, and they really found it inconclusive. And they had trouble, finding anything, really. They couldn't get a good sample. So I waited a couple years, and my doctors saw that my eyes were starting to bulge a little bit more, and she felt on my neck, I don't know how she felt it, she had me go in for another needle biopsy, and they actually found in the ultrasound as they were doing the needle biopsy, they found maybe 3 or 4 more nodules, and one of them had actually, that they had been watching, had gotten larger. So they decided to do the biopsy with that one and a couple of the other nodules. Now, I had nodules on both sides, but they weren't very big at all. They were still very tiny. The second biopsy was suspicious. Now, I know thyroid issues run on both sides of my family. My dad had been taking thyroid medication since he was a teenager. All 4 of my grandparents had had their thyroids out. So I knew it was eventual for me. Thank God I had the whole thing out. The doctors had originally suggested taking one side out that had the most lumps in it, or the most nodules. And I'm like, you know what? What happens if something happens? And then I have to go back in for another surgery to take the other half out. I'm like, you know what? Take it all out. And I'm glad I did, because when they biopsied the whole entire thyroid, they found one of the nodules that was so minuscule that they really couldn't even see it on the ultrasound was cancerous. So yes, I would definitely have this surgery done again, exactly the same way. I also wanted to add one more issue that I did have. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I have trouble staying cool. In the summer, I get overheated very, very quickly. I have to make sure I stay really hydrated and watch the temperature. I was out for maybe a half an hour in 90-degree weather. Wasn't too bad, but I came back in and I had heat exhaustion. I've had heat exhaustion at least 2 to 3 times since I've had my thyroid out, so you got to be really careful. I don't know if it's just me, but just be careful with that part. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else. If anyone has any questions, send me a message or a video reply, and I hope everyone who did have the surgery is feeling good, and if you're trying to decide on having the surgery, really, I didn't get a second opinion because I know it runs in my history, but get a second opinion. Have at least 2 biopsies done, because the first one could be inconclusive, and you never know. You really never know. And is cancer really something you want to mess with? Bye, everybody. Have a good one.